Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and welcome back to the Watkins Glen International. We had one heck of a day yesterday, and we are back again here, 10 a.m. Eastern Time right now here for qualifying for the second of two races here at the Watkins Glen International for the Haas IndyCar Series. And if you missed yesterday's race and don't know what happened, recommend you go check it out before you watch any of this, because it was a big day for a certain driver. Garrett Zenor grabbed his 20th career Napa Fan win yesterday in the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 1. This is qualifying for BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 2. And that race yesterday affected the points quite a bit. Chase Harris has a possibility of leaving this race second in the points, and that's the first time that has been the case in quite some time. Nicholas Sambadio only 48 points behind coming into this, the second race at Watkins Glen. Garrett Zenor, who won yesterday in the first race, 58 points behind. He is tied with Tristan Allen for third in the points, and then fifth in the points, it is Peyton Hamilton, 65 points behind, coming into the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 2, and we're going to set the starting lineup the old-fashioned way with a qualifying session for these guys. That's the best way of doing it. Even though NASCAR thinks otherwise, we're going to do it like this because that's how we like to do it here in the NOFSRL. Thomas Lip's going to be the first driver out there to complete a lap here for the qualifying session in the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen. Of course, Garrett Zenor started in the second position, and that might be where you want to start. And you do get a bonus point towards the championship for winning the pole, but you may not necessarily have the advantage on the start of the race if you start on that inside lane for the pole position. Garrett Zenor started on the outside pole and led every lap yesterday. Now, he almost didn't lead every lap. Tristan Allen was very close to winning that race, but he ended up wrecking out there with Luke Green near the end and fell deep in the field. Tristan Allen would have been much closer to Chase Harris in the championship standings. He would have been second in the points coming into this one if it weren't for the fact that he wrecked with Luke Rainey. But it worked out for Nicholas Sambadio because Chase Harris was also caught up in an accident. Finished 28th yesterday, and Sambadio now comes into this race only 48 points behind the points leader, Chase Harris, and it looks like Harris and Sambadio are going to be right with each other on the racetrack here to qualify at Watkins Glen. That could get really interesting as the session goes along. We'll have to see here what Thomas Lipscomb can put down. And the race here, the second race for the BodyArmor Duel at the Gun, going to be 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Napa Fan. And we're looking forward to see how it all goes down for the second race. Had an excellent first race yesterday. And, of course, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time over on Napa Fan as well. We qualified for those guys yesterday, so we're definitely intrigued to see how it all goes down these next two races here on Napa Fan for Super Glen Week. Tomorrow, New Era Cup Series. They're going to be coming to the full version of this road course for 16 laps in their race. And, of course, BodyArmor Cup Series. They're going to have an event here. Same with Trey Wright. He's going to do a special event here at the Watkins Glen International with the boot. Matt Tuck was actually the first driver to get a lap in, and a pretty solid one at that, 1:27.93 for the New York native. I'm sure he would love to turn his season around. Comes in 24th in points. He would love to turn his season around here at his home racetrack, the Watkins Glen International. Nicholas Sambadio going to go to the top of the board, though. And Sambadio with a huge opportunity here to possibly take the points lead heading in the Canadian Tire. It would take him winning and Chase Harris is finishing either 29th or 30th for that to happen. But there is that chance. There is that mathematical chance that Nicholas Sambadio could head into next week's race, the points leader here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Edgar Barretos went to the top of the board. And the number 12 machine, great time for him. And, of course, he won one of the races last year here at the Watkins Glen International. Nathan Smith finished third yesterday, I do believe. Had a great run in that event. Davey Johnson just went to the top of the board in the number 20 machine. And Johnson was one of those guys caught up in the accident that came on lap number 10 in yesterday's event. Andrew Miller ahead of him is fourth quickest. And Miller comes into this event last in the points, so he would definitely appreciate this boost if he could possibly start in that position. It goes Davey Johnson, Igor Barreto, Nathan Smith, Andrew Miller, Nicholas Sambadio, Nathan Stapleton, Marty Johnson, and to the fourth position, Buck Hover in the number 93. The solid time right there, and Matt Tuck to the top of the board in the number 28, 1:26.739 for the New York native. Great time there for Matt Tuck. Samedillo to second in the number 9. That is exactly what Samedillo wants here in this session. That is really going to help out Samedillo here in the championship. If he can get a good starting position now, of course, we saw what happened to Tristan Allen. He had a great run going yesterday and wrecked out, so it's not far from over. It's not over at all, I should say. It is far from over. Tristan Allen just went to second, and you can definitely guarantee that he is upset about what happened yesterday. Obviously pushed it a little too hard when he didn't need to, and that affected him along with Luke Rainey in that event. But that's what I was saying. This championship, this race, it's far from being done. The race hasn't even happened yet, and just because you start up front in one of these races doesn't mean that you're going to be guaranteed a good finishing position. Just ask Tristan Allen yesterday, who wrecked right there in the carousels. He was trying to make a pass on Luke Rainey for the second position, overshot it, got in the Rainey, and bumped into the wall off the corner, fell all the way back to the 27th finishing position yesterday. But if he can start second in today's event, that is going to be huge in his attempt to surpass Chase Harris in the points. But Nicholas Samedillo also with a great starting position. Both Allen and Samedillo have really done well in qualifying these past 2 days, and that's really going to help him out. But Matt Tuck looking really strong in the number 28 machine as he currently holds the fastest time. It's Matt Tuck, it's Tristan Allen, and it's now Nicholas Samedillo in third. That number 9 is really fast, and it's Edgar Barreto, Francois Chastain, Mason Brown, Nathan Smith, Peyton Hamilton. It's now in the 9th as Audra Baranauskas goes to 8th. Then it's the 93 of Buck Hover. Chase Harris in the number 79 is 20th fastest. That's again a lot like how it was yesterday when he qualified for the first race here at Watkins Glen. It did not work out well for him at all, and if he can not improve his time here in this session, it is going to be very difficult for him to keep Tristan Allen and Nicholas Samedillo away from him in the points. I wouldn't necessarily say that Samedillo or Allen will surpass him in the championship lead today, but they're going to have a huge opportunity to do so once we head to Canadian Tire next weekend. And Chase Harris starting to slip up here, and he's got a couple of long-time Napa fan veterans looking to surpass him in the championship standings here. But Matt Tuck looking to just get a win here. Been a long time since he's won on Napa fan as a driver, but he's looking like he may win the pole here for the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen race number 2. It's Matt Tuck, Tristan Allen, Nicholas Samedillo, Edgar Barreto, Francois Chastain, Mason Brown, Nathan Smith, Marty Johnson, Audra Baranauskas, and Luke Rainey. Rainey also wants some redemption from yesterday. Rainey was a guy who had a shot at winning yesterday's first race. He is definitely not happy about what happened to the number 1 machine in yesterday's event as Tristan Allen got into him. Chase Harris, here we go! Harris up to the 7th position. And he finally had something go right for him this weekend. Of course, he's had a lot of things go right for him this season, but this weekend has been very difficult for him here in the Haas IndyCar Series. He's up to 7th. Luke Rainey goes up to 8th. And to 2nd, Nathan Smith has taken the outside pole away from Tristan Allen. It's still the 39 machine of Tristan Allen in 3rd. And then the 9 of Nicholas Samedillo has the 4th starting position with Edgar Barreto, Francois Chastain, Mason Brown, Chase Harris, Luke Rainey, and Davey Johnson. It is going to be one very interesting race. Marty Johnson to 2nd in the number 75. That's going to push everyone down a position with the exception of Matt Tuck. And Marty Johnson, who has never won before in the Haas IndyCar Series, will he get his first ever win in this series at his home racetrack? It's going to be a couple of New York natives starting on the front row, most likely Matt Tuck and Marty Johnson on the front row. Then Nathan Smith, Tristan Allen, Nicholas Samedillo, Edgar Barreto, Francois Chastain, and to 3rd, Mason Brown. Great run there for Brown in the 37. Allen and Samedillo, Allen 5th, Samedillo in the 6th position, and now the number 38 of Owen Miles, who's also a New York native, goes to the top of the board, taking the pole position, or did he? Did he take it? Yes, they tied for the top position, but Owen Miles is ahead of Matt Tuck in the championship standings. So Owen Miles has taken the pole away from Matt Tuck, but that might be exactly what Matt Tuck wanted to see, because that means he's going to have the outside starting position on that first corner. How about that for Owen Miles? Right at the end of the session, going to the top of the board, it's Owen Miles, Matt Tuck, Marty Johnson, Mason Brown, Nathan Smith, Tristan Allen, Nicholas Samadillo, Igor Barreto, Francois Chastain, and Chase Harris, the top 10. Top 3 in points. See where Garrett Sonor is, and Sonor all the way down in 23rd. He may have used up all his stuff yesterday. A bit of a tough break there for Garrett Sonor, and the number 19 definitely had a strong run, and he came up in the points, tied 3rd with Tristan Allen. We're going to have to see if he can rebound and have a good day tomorrow, good day today, I should say, because the race is today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're qualifying and jumping right into the race later on. Sonor looks like he's going to be mired deep in the field, though, and that might hurt him in his chances for the championship. But for Allen and Samadillo, those two guys who have pretty much been on Harris's tail this entire season, they are going to be starting ahead of Chase Harris by a couple of positions, but Chase Harris will be starting inside the top 10, and that is definitely going to be cause for concern for a lot of these guys in the field, because you know that number 79 is going to be fast in the race. He's going to have a shot at getting his 5th win of the season there, starting from the 10th position. 30 more seconds left on the clock. Owen Miles in the number 38, looking to win the pole for the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 2. Tied the time that Matt Tuck set. It'll be Matt Tuck and Owen Miles on the front row, but Matt Tuck will have that outside lane on Owen Miles heading into turn number 1 for the start of tomorrow's, or should I say today's race. Gonna be today. The race is today at 11 a.m. Eastern. So less than an hour, we'll see how it all goes down between Owen Miles and Matt Tuck, but it will be Owen Miles who wins the pole here in the second race for the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen. Owen Miles, Matt Tuck, Marty Johnson, Nathan Smith, Mason Brown, Tristan Allen, Nicholas Samadillo, Igor Barreto, Francois Chastain, Chase Harris, the top 10 starting positions for BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 2. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And with the exception of Garrett Sonor, all these guys, well, maybe even Payne Hamilton, who is up there in the standings, pretty much all these guys are going to be having really good starting positions. Those top 3 in points, specifically Samadillo, Allen, and Chase Harris, all going to be starting within the top 10. I think if there's any guy of those 3 has the best shot at winning, it's Tristan Allen. He's got the outside lane in 6th. Samadillo and Harris are going to be a little bit farther behind. It's just going to be interesting to see how it all plays out today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right over there on Napa Fan for BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 2. If you enjoyed yesterday's race, you're going to enjoy this one. This is going to be just as good, if not better, than Garrett Sonor's victory yesterday, and that's saying quite a bit. Owen Miles leads to the green flag. We'll have to see how it all goes down for the second of 2 races here in the Haas IndyCar Series from Watkins Glen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Owen Miles for winning the pole, and I will see you guys later, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, for this race over on Napa Fan. Stick around, it's going to be a great one here from Watkins Glen.